In many societies, alcohol consumption seems to be the staple diet among an increasing number of people, especially the younger generation. It also seems to be an irreplaceable component of socializing and other forms of entertainment. No social gathering seems complete without alcohol as its soulmate. At weekends, the goal in life of some people, mainly from the younger generation, is not to have a good time, as was the usual practice some years ago, but to go out and get drunk. That is, to lose one's senses, decorum and modesty. According to the independent newspaper of the 2nd of November 2005, a large majority of people consume alcohol, and it is well known that an increasing number of these become alcoholics. 1.1 million adults in England suffer from alcohol dependency. Consumption of alcohol not only destroys the individual, it destroys their family, their economy, and their physical and mental health. And in the long term, it damages the community at large. As a direct outcome of alcohol consumption, it has been proved beyond any doubt that morality and a sense of responsibility cease to exert any influence on those afflicted. Criminal activity also pursues a relentless advance in terms of thefts, of burglaries, of violence, domestic violence, child abuse, rapes, suicides, and death by dangerous driving, to name but a few. The British Crime Survey of 2004-2005 revealed that 48% of all violent crime and 60% in cases of stranger violence occurred where the offender was under the influence of alcohol. And according to a study by the United Kingdom Institute of Alcohol Studies of 2006, entitled Alcohol in Europe, it says, apparently 1 in every 4 people in Britain enjoys drinking with one single aim: to get completely drunk. Binge drinking is no longer a male domain either. Adolescent girls and young women are just as likely to go out and get plastered as males." Unquote. To redress the issue of binge drinking and alcoholism, the British government have, in my opinion, erroneously, actually increased the number of hours a licensed premises is allowed to remain open. In fact, some areas, alcohol premises are allowed to remain open 24 hours per day. The teachings of Islam in this regard have given the perfect answer, the perfect antidote, and the perfect reasoning. The Holy Quran states, "They ask thee concerning wine and the game of hazard. Say, in both there is great sin, and also some advantages for men, but their sin is greater than their advantage." Unquote. It is reported by Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "God's curse falls on 10 groups of people who deal with alcohol: the one who distills it, the one for whom it has been distilled, the one who drinks it, the one who transports it, the one to whom it has been brought, the one who serves it, the one who sells it, the one who utilizes money from it, the one who buys it, and the one who buys it for someone else." Further to this, the Holy Prophet of Islam ﷺ said, "Alcohol is the mother of all evils, and it is the most shameful of evils." So we should therefore teach our children about the bad effects of alcohol and should lead by example. We should avoid pubs and bars, even though our non-Muslim friends may frequent them, and we should only ever offer them non-alcoholic drinks. So let us now turn our attention to gambling. A recent survey by a United Kingdom newspaper revealed some very interesting but shocking statistics in regard to the UK as a gambling nation. £50 billion was spent on gambling in the UK in 2005. Since 2001, there has been a 700% increase on the money spent on gambling, and more frightening, since the year 2001, there has been a 23,000% increase in online internet betting. It has also been reported there are 370,000 people addicted to gambling, and it is expected that this number will increase to 700,000 people within the next 5 years. In total disregard to the increasing number of addicts and the destruction of their family lives, the British government, seduced by the lure of extra revenue from gambling, have this year introduced the Gambling Act of 2006, which will allow 8 small, 8 large and 1 regional or super casinos to be built. The whole nation is also encouraged to gamble each week on the national lottery, where gamblers are enticed by the lure of instant fortunes. And as a result, those people who seek to climb out of the depths of poverty are usually the ones who waste so much money on the lottery, leaving them more and more penniless and frustrated as they are unable to fulfill their dreams. Mr. Mark Griffiths, a professor of gambling at the Nottingham University, has commented, "Gambling is a voluntary form of taxation, although people don't see it as such. By expanding gambling, the government can bring in more money. There has been no great public push to liberalise it. It has all come from the gaming industry and the government. But if you try to reverse it, there would be uproar." Unquote. So to many, gambling may become very addictive, and due to the ease of doing it online on the internet, it has become a much more accessible idea to certain groups of people. It's very simple to turn on a computer and log onto a website. Everywhere on the internet are recollections of users who started by placing a small bet and eventually ended up losing their homes as they tried to recoup their losses by spending more and more on gambling. Even worse, there are players who go into major debt because they use their credit cards and bank accounts to gamble. And this can result in severe financial hardships, bankruptcy, marital and family strife, and unfortunately in some instances, suicide. Islam gives the answer and solution to the ever-growing maladies of alcohol, drugs and gambling. It simply commands, abstain from them, that you may be saved. There are no other means and no shortcuts to control this malignant epidemic. Islam's social teachings are very important for the protection and survival of the family system. These dangers tempt and attract us to their worldly advantages, until before we realize it, we are sucked into an addictive behavior, so much so that we justify to ourselves no harm in partaking in these vices. And this is a very slippery slope that we must guard against at an embryonic stage. A greater openness of money matters between husband and wife, engaging in more exciting interests such as study skills, creative crafts, and spending for causes are some of the solutions to benefit the moral and spiritual wealth of mankind. We have all heard of the many dangers of the internet. Although some of these dangers have been greatly exaggerated, it does not alter the fact that a computer and its operator connected to the internet are susceptible to very real attacks on their conscience, both overtly and covertly. The internet can be a very useful tool for the pursuit of knowledge. However, there are people who feel compelled to use their knowledge about computers to access files remotely in illegal and unethical ways. Subsequently, they make life difficult for other internet users. There is no true and proper policing system of the internet, and it is open to abuse by unscrupulous companies and individuals seeking to amass great wealth or knowledge without regard to the moral well-being or vulnerability of the people they are targeting.